Hello, Jacob Martinez, Crystal Haiku Guy from artoflove.me. Thanks for tuning in again. This is actually my first month doing these readings for you guys. I started with just overall general messages for all of the earth signs done in 4 videos, one for each of the elements and broken down into 3 chapters for each of the signs they're in. And I'm going to do that again right now for mid-monthlies, and we're going to start with the earth signs. So I'm actually going to go Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I have already shuffled. Just after working with the logistics last time, it was too difficult for me to get it in the video. It was really challenging, and so this time I just decided to rework the space. Hopefully the sound is better now, and I have already dealt. I should mention this channel is M for mature, so if you are under legal age wherever you are viewing this at this time, please just exit the video. I apologize, but the content, it's probably just not appropriate for you yet. I will say whatever the messages are that are being given to me, and I tend to be expressive, verbose, and sometimes I use crude language. So, and also some of the decks that I might decide to use at some point do have somewhat provocative content on them, and it's really intended for adults. So this is an adult only channel. Please exit if you are not of age, or if you are somehow offended by my candor and direct approach. Okay, thank you. Other thing too, please take a look at your sun, moon, and risings. Me personally, when I'm looking at other readers online, I always get a much more complete picture for myself when I take those aspects into account, because things can vary from person to person. So I'm going to do my very best here to relay the messages that were given to me. I have asked that at least one good message will go to each person that's watching, and you know, if nothing resonates for you, I apologize. I might not be a reader right now, but like I said, check out your sun, moon, and rising. Also, another note, thanks for the positive feedback. A couple of people actually sent me private messages from my first round of videos, and I really appreciate that. I felt like everything was really constructive, and I did appreciate the kind words and the thanks that were sent my way. And also just wanted to reiterate that at this time I'm only doing free readings. I just am not time inventoried to actually do personals just yet due to my current schedule with my other projects. So hopefully you'll enjoy the free readings and stay tuned. And if you do like it, you know, thumbs up, maybe hit share, subscribe. Really appreciate you giving the new guy a shot. So with that all said, we're going to go ahead and jump into the reading here. I'm going to tell you how I did the format. I'm just repeating what I did a couple weeks ago for the monthlies. I'm using Caroline Mrs. Archetype cards to demonstrate the overall archetypal energy that we're expecting over the course of your month. And this can kind of be like the baseline to your month, if you will. There's light and dark attributes that really, just to sum it all up, it's like the positive versus the negative flow of energy in a battery. So nothing's good or bad. It's just different ways that the energy might manifest and show up in and around your world, so that you can sort of interpret what's happening as it happens, which might be especially helpful during this 5-planet retrograde, just to give you a better idea of what's going on or why things might be happening the way they are, and hopefully that'll give you some insight as to how you choose to delegate yourself in those different moments. So, archetype cards number 1. For the physical aspects of your world, we'll be using the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot deck, and that will pretty much encompass anything that's going in and around your physical realm. So it could be to deal with your body, sometimes it might have an implication on home life, career aspects, really anything that's in your day-to-day physical reality. for the mental sector, I'm using John Holland's Psychic Oracle deck, and that's pretty self-explanatory. It's just going to be how you're dealing with things from this standpoint. We will take a look at your personal and possibly romantic life. It doesn't always have a romantic implication, but I do like to use these Doreen Virtue Romance Angel cards. And for the final piece, and my favorite part, we will tie it all together with a message from Archangel Michael, and I will actually conduct a prayer that's led by Archangel Michael over your life and energies for the course of the month, and hopefully you'll find that beneficial as I do. So we'll go ahead and start with Taurus now. I should also mention, while I just flipped your cards over, while I was shuffling for the earth signs, because I actually do these in a layout where I'm doing, earth, air, water, fire, and I'm doing each of the signs associated with those elements at the same time. While I was shuffling for you guys, sometimes I just get like a witness or a vision that might have a pictorial. Other times it's just like a thought, a feeling, a word, or something that might pop up. But sometimes Spirit will actually show me like a tarot card in my mind, just because of the associations that and understandings that I've developed over the course of my experience, because it might have a meaning to put forward. And I will just say, with the earth signs, while I was shuffling, and I got it for the monthlies. I think it was Virgo in the monthly, if I'm correct, that had actually gotten this card, but I kept seeing the knight. I kept seeing the knight come through, and I don't know if that's like an archetype or what for you guys, but I'll repeat what I said in the last video. The knights, for me, these are the guys with get up and go. These are the ones that get up and do something. And depending on which knight you might be embodying the traits of or combinations of, are really going to determine by and large where you end up as a trajectory. Some knights are fast and furious and passionate and direct and fierce, and others might be a little slow. There's one that might be kind of emotional and impractical, but very loving. And anyway, I was just seeing that knight again, like in my mind, and I'd also gotten a vision of 7. And for me, a lot of times this is, something, it's a very blessed thing, but there can be some implications with some turmoil or turbulence and movement, the way I experienced that. And I was just getting a real sense that, and whoever this is for, that the message was regarding taking a step back to kind of make sure that whatever direction you might be wanting to take with that night energy, that it's well conceived and thought out, and I was getting sort of a strategy perception of that, and just a message that it might behoove you to take a little time to consider any actions before taking those steps. So that said, I'll pull it into your reading here, because for the mid-month part of May, Taurus, you have received the archetype card of Teacher. And I'm going to go ahead and just read the light and dark attributes for you to start. So, and actually I think Pisces got, who got this last month? Cancer got this for the beginning of the month. Actually, if I recall correctly. So I don't know, maybe you have a contact or Cancer somewhere predominant in your chart, or a Cancer that you might be dealing with too over the course of the month, because you guys did get the same archetype. So again, teacher on the light side, the ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. And on the shadow side, the attributes are listed as manipulating or abusing students, teaching negative traits, and destructive skills. And so I'm just going to say, I mean, I think this kind of ties into like what the shuffle message was that I was getting for all the Earth signs, actually. And, you know, what I'm seeing here is a person that has developed or attained certain resources that are relevant to their life path. By and large, I found that anybody that is going to fulfill a teaching role in life has either taken the time to qualify, where that ability to demonstrate anything worthy to others would come from, or, well, I should say and or, because sometimes it's a combo. This might have been the result of hard knocks in life. I know me personally, you know, there's a lot of things that I thought I knew at some point, and the fact was I wasn't practicing these things, and in some cases life would deliver me a very difficult lesson where I had to apply this thing that I said I knew but that I wasn't doing. And right now I'm just being reminded of actually a quote from Albert Einstein that I think is relevant to this context. And I might butcher the quote, but it was something to the effect of, to know and not do is like not knowing. And I think that there's a call to responsibility with the knowledge and the things that we claim to know, do, and understand. Without a practical application of these insights, I mean, one might feasibly be able to call the knowledge a moot point, because what good does it serve if it is not being applied to some constructive end, if you will? So, yeah, we see here this teacher. Oh, and I should make another note too. I don't really buy into the gender binary. Okay. If I use a gender that you don't see in these energies or that does not feel like it connects with your life, please, by all means, disregard my poor representation of that gender and choose the one that matches for you. But for the sake of simplicity, and because I have read this artist's depiction as something that I would probably call female, we're going to go with that, and I'm going to use she's on this. This teacher individual here holds the world in her hands. And she understands that within the diametric oppositions posed in this polarizing world, the truth is somewhere in the middle. She's also quite aware of the fact that in her past, to attain this knowledge and to be able to hone her own skills and to provide content that's worthy to those who would be her pupils or the ones in her proximity to whom she would be demonstrating her knowledge and wisdom, she's left some darkness in her past. And I would have to say there were challenges that maybe she felt like she didn't have the solution to on her own, but somehow she has found herself in a position now where she is actually been delivered from whatever those situations are in such a way that it is now in her hands to be able to offer more, not only to herself from a practical application of those lessons learned, but also to be able to demonstrate that in a worthy way to others. So I feel like the key here this month is to open up the or bridge, if you will, the attributes of the higher mind and the throat chakra. And for some reason today, I didn't really, this one didn't jump on me last time when I was reading for Cancer at the beginning of the month, but I'll show you what I'm looking at here. Excuse the chippy nail polish, but see that right there? That to me looks like the same globe that she might be holding, but it's here. And I'm picking up on the very indigo blue color of it, which for me signifies the third eye chakra, so sixth chakra, the insight, right? Being brought down to earth in a way that is projected from an open and clear throat chakra to demonstrate this wisdom in some effective way. This is the archetypal theme for the month. And I'm not going to jump ahead, but I'll tell you your mental energy card lined completely up with this, but so did your physical world. I was seeing knights when I was shuffling for the earth signs, so I wonder if this might be especially relevant to you this month, Taurus, because your physical reality card that I pulled out from the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is this, the Knight of Wands. And since this is in your physical world for the mid-month part of May to the end, this could be an individual that you're dealing with in some way. It could be you. Maybe you have strong fire element, or some of these tendencies that you might embody with regard to how you deal with your physical life. Maybe you've got a real get up and go right now, some passion under your behind to do something. This could also be a person that is outside of you that might be entering into your world or playing a significant role somehow. But again, since I did see the Knight while I was doing the shuffle for earth signs too, I just wonder if this might be how you are approaching the second part of your month. And if that were the case, I would say that if you've taken a direction and you're ready to take off, if you're not already doing that. But for me, I'm hearing escape from a barren land. I don't know if that appeals to any one of you specifically there, Taurus, but I think that could be what's going on with this cat here. I'll call him a cat, a he person, but it could very easily be any genders, could be she, they, or any other term. If this is a person coming in, they are not the type to consider things before acting in some cases, which could have, plus or minus implications depending on your situation, of course. But I believe that there's a caution here with regard to how you're delegating both your own energy, your creative, passionate side, as well as delegating yourself with someone who might kind of kick it to you this way, because that's someone that might not be listening too well. And I'll just reference it back to shadow attributes on your teacher card, where the caution on the shadow is, right there about negative traits and destructive skills. And I'm not going to say the Knight of Wands is particularly negative, but he can be a little bit like a Tasmanian devil. So if you've ever watched the cartoons and the guy's like freaking out, he spins around, he like knocks everything down around him, you know, or maybe that term of bull in a china shop, that might be especially relevant to you this month. Taurus. So, you know, just remember that the barren land that you might be escaping from right now, although it might be some shitty shit, some darkness that you have to leave in your past, or a person that might represent that to you, some kind of energy, just chill for a second in yourself, you know, take it down a notch. Make sure you're applying your high-mindedness, because you've learned a lot in whatever barren time is that you might be eliminating from your life right now. And although you might need to make a quick move and really want to leave that situation very quickly, be sure that you're paying close attention to your highest wisdom and what you know to be true based on the history. Don't have amnesia now. And your mental sector card, you actually got one of the chakra cards that came up in the John Holland Oracle deck. I love this deck. I think it's really cool. It kind of takes the best of, if you will, from, you know, traditional tarot system, and they've taken out some of the parts that I think complicate it for some readers, and they've also added some wisdom to the chakra system. So there's 7 cards in this system here that will produce an insight relevant to a specific chakra in the body. And for your mental sector, you got the third eye card, which is also that same high mind aspect I was seeing embodied in the call to action to speak the truth about the things that you've learned. So it's a great place for this card to be right up here, third eye. It's a perfect tie-in here, guys. And I feel like, you know, this is just a reiteration of leaning on that which you have learned. You have an eye to your soul that exists right here. And if you don't know a lot about it, you know, you can just research if you're interested in it. The pineal gland. It's spelled P-I-N-E-A-L. And this will be a good time to actually focus on ways to clear and detox your mind and your body, because there's always a correlation. Your energy is, it's all one thing. You know, it has a different way that it expresses in different places. But right now, I believe that Spirit's giving you a really strong urge to focus on this part right here, because it's going to help guide you. Okay, so that you are making the right strategies for any moves that you have to do, or in dealing with somebody that might be like that other character that I mentioned. And also so that as you are engaging with your life and other people, you are able to really, before you just start speaking things or demonstrating, you know, yourself in any particular way, that it's kind of being filtered through this part of you that understands the implications of not only where you've come from, how you're directing yourself forward, and what it's going to do going forward. Because everything we do elicits a response in another place. It's kind of like, you know, if you've ever lined up dominoes and you knock one and, you know, all the other ones go down, and you can set off a chain reaction. So, you know, clearing out your third eye this month, this second half of the month, I think it's going to be really helpful for you. And, you know, there are different things that you can do. I'm a big fan of getting on really good, clean water. If you have access to spring water, that's great. Don't be drinking out of those nasty plastic bottles. Those are terrible. Or drink out of glass if you can. And if you have the means, get yourself a good water filter. I've got a filter that actually injects a negative hydroxyl ion into the water, and it increases the pH balance of it. And it gets pharmaceuticals and contaminants out of the water. But of course, my son is an Aquarius, so I'm always packing something around, and I come with water. So clear yourself with water, and you know, maybe colors appeal to you too. this kind of indigo-ish color is a really good color to even just focus on in a meditation to help clear up this third eye. And, poke around on YouTube too. There are a ton of channels on here that offer for free sound therapy that you can listen to. And some of them you don't even need to watch the video. It's just a certain frequency that is being played that helps to balance your sixth chakra. We're going to move on to romance, love, personal life. I used, again, the Doreen Virtues Romance Angel Oracle deck. And the card that you got, Taurus, states that you deserve love. You are lovable. I have to agree. I have wonderful Taurus people in my life, and I think y'all are great. So, maybe this has something to do with what I was seeing with the Knight, maybe wanting to get out of Dodge and, apply themselves in a new life experience that they've gleaned from the tough times. And, maybe that's what's going on. Maybe you're picking a direction here. I'm paying really close attention to her, shooting that arrow. And I feel like what is being conveyed here, Taurus, is that, go for it. You totally deserve it. Absolutely. You are so lovable. You're awesome. Anybody would be lucky to have you in their life and, in some kind of capacity, just because you kick ass. You're great people. What I'm seeing here, look what she's doing. She has a weapon in her hands, and she is locked and loaded. She's ready to shoot that thing. And like I was being shown at the beginning when I was shuffling for all y'all, and also just looking at your reading here, Taurus, I think we're just being told that, yes, take your direction, but pay attention, focus before you shoot, okay? Everything's going to work out. Just pay your mind to doing the things that you already know you need to be doing. I don't need to tell you that too much. These are just reminders, I think. So, the biggest takeaway here for me is really just focusing on that third eye right now. I think you're going to know what to do. I think you know inside, actually. I'm getting a really strong sense of that. And I think you know that you are ready for whatever it is that's coming your way. I kind of see it like moving really like almost fast. There's a lot of, I'm feeling a lot of swirling in some of the lower chakras. So, this is where a lot of our creative spirit is located inside of us. And so, it feels like there's some passion here for something, whatever it is. And we're just being reminded to be mindful, to be focused, and to make sure that anything that we might actually need to share with another is being filtered and tempered through some of the higher chakras here. So paying mind to what you know and taking responsibility with how those messages are conveyed. I'm going to go ahead and jump into what Archangel Michael had to say for you guys with my Archangel Michael Oracle deck. I love this deck. And here's what it says. Take your time making this decision, Taurus. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and read this prayer for you. I'm going to pray over y'all now. So, Taurus, this is for you, my friends. Okay. Archangel Michael, please help me stay strong and relaxed as I approach this situation. Remind me to detach and step back, allowing the situation to naturally unfold. Thank you for protecting me. Amen. Taurus, that's all I got right now. If you liked it, please let me know. Feel free to drop me a note. Like, share, subscribe, thumbs up. Stay tuned. I'll be doing more free readings next month. And make sure you catch up also your sun, moon, and rising, if this wasn't your sun, or you get the point. Sun, moon, and rising for a better picture. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on now to Virgo. Hey Virgo, what's up? I've already dealt. I don't know if you caught the beginning, but I'm looking at your cards here. Oh, Virgo. I think that 7 energy might have been for you. I'm getting a 7 right in the center of your reading. I'm not going to start there, though. Go ahead and start with your archetype card for the month, which I love. Actually, I was seeing that night again, and I believe for the monthly reading, the May monthly reading, you guys actually, if I'm not mistaken, got the Knight archetype card, the Carolyn Miss archetype card, which I've been using these to demonstrate like the baseline of the month. So this is kind of like the rhythm that we're trotting to over the course of the month. And for your mid-month, I decided to use these again because I liked it. They give us light and dark attributes to help us understand how the energy might be flowing at any given time, so that we have a better idea about how we want to interact with it, right? And you got the King. That's pretty cool. So something got upgraded this month, guys, because, Knight to King, that's there is a direct correlation here. And I'm going to go ahead and just read straight off the card for you right now to start. On the sunny side up, the King's light attributes read as enlightened, benevolent leadership, benefiting those in your charge. And on the shadow side, attributes are listed as excessive feelings of entitlement and rulership without restraint. And so, let's go ahead and look at that. You can take a look at that picture if you like. And, yeah. That's a cool card there, guys. Y'all are making some changes. I feel like you have picked a posture, let's just say. The Knight has already taken some movement to wind up as a king for the latter part of the month. That is especially clear at this juncture. The other thing that I will say is that if you want to look at what's going on with this guy, see, he's got the sun on one side, the stars on the other side, and it kind of, that disc that he's holding like this, kind of almost looks like a moon. You can see what it would be as a full moon. You see the crescent there? He's kind of clutching it. And what I'm hearing here is that he's learned to illuminate his heart by the things that used to elude him in the dark of his own mind and soul. And now this is somewhat of a driving force, but it would behoove him not to clutch it. And remember that even if the path is dark, the dreary thing that got him to where he is now, and that he might be holding on to tightly, is not all that is there to illuminate his path. He's still got the sun and the stars there. And that if he allows the dark places that he has found himself in the now, having moved from, he will know that that wisdom that he's gained is actually inside of him. There's really nothing that he needs to clutch. That might be in his old mind, maybe he's still acting like a knight. Those knights go in charging and You know, they're used to having to kind of show their stuff. Like, you know, if he was like the Knight of Cups, let's just say I'm going to pick on the Knight of Cups. I can pick on the Knight of Cups. I'm a water rising. I might be a goofy ass Knight of Cups sometimes. So I know what it is to come in on a horse with, you know, fancy drink and it's bobbling all over the place. And here, look what I got. I have this for you, you know. And he's kind of clutching his emotions still. You know, he's keeping them close to the chest here. But the king doesn't have to do that. The king doesn't have to impress anybody. Now, I know that could border into some of the entitlement, excessive feelings that are spoken of in the shadow attributes, but there's a difference between knowing your posture and owning that and feeling entitled. So I'm not speaking to the entitlement point, but more so the point of acknowledgement that this difficult thing that you've traversed and needing to present yourself forward as a being of worth, to escalate yourself to the position of king, may have been extremely relevant to accomplish that task. But now you are the king. And I should make the gender note now too, since I've been heing this character. I don't buy into gender. I think it's some bullshit. You can use whatever gender you see fit. I'm reading the card to the best of my ability with my interpretation of how the energy is presenting. It's coming with a masculine flow for me. Plenty of women have that. Plenty of men have that. Plenty of people that do not identify either way have that. So take it how it makes sense to you and apply it where you feel right. So just watch it, guys. You know, just remember that you've done a lot to get yourself here, and what I'm hearing from Spirit is to take the time to allow yourself to assimilate into that role of beingness. Perhaps this isn't a flow that you're really used to exhibiting yourself in. So maybe you don't have your king moves down yet. Maybe you're still acting like the knight and you're clutching whatever it is you came in with that might have hurt you or that you're using to transmute to give to someone else as an expression of your love and the path that you've grown from. But just remember that the king doesn't really have to work that way. You know, what I would recommend and what I'm hearing from Spirit is to embody some of that blue. See that blue that's all around this card here? That deep blue, that royal color. It's a color of the high mind, okay? I would say this looks a lot like, you know, the sixth chakra color, the brow chakra. But this is also a healing energy. And so, especially if you've taken the time to grow from knight to king, a couple of short weeks, seeing some change like this, take some time for yourself. Take some time for yourself, Virgo. Let yourself congeal. Feel into this new space. You know, acknowledge where you've come from, where you're going. Realize that the light has illuminated your path to get here, because not everybody gets to be a king. Okay? So this is something you earned, and you don't need to clutch anything. The position is yours. So now it's time to allow yourself the time to heal, take a reprieve, you know, make the most of this 5-planet retrograde that we're in right now. It's a great time to go in and kind of like just heal within and let yourself, you know, figure out this new space and this new position that you've now congealed into for the month, and just be a diplomat of that which you know to be true. It's a calm confidence. It doesn't have to be too cocky. So I think that's really relevant because your physical aspects, which I've used the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck to help us come up with an idea, we're pulling the 5 of Pentacles in the physical world. And, you know, maybe this is why you might find yourself wanting to clutch at some point during the month. You know, this guy's holding on to something and It could very well be a pentacle. Maybe he's holding on to his money. Maybe it cost a lot for you to put yourself on this throne here. And maybe you've made some big moves to put yourself in this posture. It might have cost you something. What are you leaving here? You're leaving something. Maybe it's an ideology. Maybe this is the old way. Maybe this is how the knight felt. I'm going to release my faith for that. That this is the point from whence you are going to arrive. And that this is something that's already in motion. But it is showing up in your physical reality there, Virgo. So, maybe you're feeling challenged with a lack, or feeling cold or left out of some situation. Or it could be somebody in your life that maybe has a tendency to feel that way about you. Maybe they're presenting themselves. The thing is that, well, a couple of things. This is material stuff. This is the world around us. If we look at the world around, say these people right here, and I don't know, maybe you resonate with one of those characters, perhaps. These cats are outside. And the story on this card from this deck is that, this is like a cathedral that they're walking past, and they're freaking cold, they're hungry. It looks like it's like snowing, bitter, and they're not even really covered up too well, but there's a door they just passed as they were taking this little walk together. They passed the door. I don't know about you guys, but if I was one of those people, I might have it in my mind to kind of turn back around, look for the door or a window or knock, and to see, witness, acknowledge that there are resources all around me, and that I'm only being cold because I'm shut off for some reason that I didn't even see it, or it didn't occur. So this might be some of that old kind of clutching tendency to feel like there was a lack or not enough, but Spirit is recommending to open y'all's eyes up, look around, and seek that which is in your immediate grasp. These two right here, if for nothing else, they're together. And they're both going through the same thing. So you might have somebody that misses you. Maybe you miss somebody. You feel like you can't access one another too, Virgo. Could be something to do with that, But I'm seeing that there's a lot of warmth that could be had in this situation. These two people could simply turn to one another and embrace, and warm one another up and provide some comfort to one another in this situation. So, maybe you have a good friend somewhere that, they're kind of with you in some sort of way, and they're willing to take this bullshit trip, even if y'all are missing the doors where all the good stuff is, because it looks like there's money, food, maybe some good incense, and some people that care, that might want to help you inside too. But one way or the other, you got a partner. Somebody's with you, Virgo. For your mental sector, y'all got a 7. Well, you got a 16 actually, but I reduced that to 7. And I was seeing a big 7 when I was shuffling for all the earth signs here just a little while ago. And This is the John Holland Psychic Oracle deck here. This guy that's all cut up into pieces that are kind of sliding off of each other. This card says disruption, and this is actually the Tower card in a traditional tarot deck. And, you know, the Tower, for me, like any card, you know, it's just an energy that flows on a current. And any current has an up and a down depending on how it applies itself in your life. It's just, you know, it expresses itself differently. I've seen towers be people falling in love and having great sex. You know, I've also seen towers happen when something shitty happened. You know, fill in the blank there. But in this situation, I mean, this guy's like all cut up. What's going on? He's like trying to hold it together, and something is just like, you know, it just wants to take him in different directions. And, you know, that could be some of that night energy coming out of the earlier part of the month, too. And just that motion that was taken, and just that boom, that trigger, wanting to get something done, or to get somewhere, to do something, or quietly imploding from a situation. But whatever it is, guys and gals and others, keep in mind your high mind. Don't let yourself get into the feeling that you're just going to lose the ground that you've built, or that it can be taken away from you, because you are a king. And yes, kings can represent material stuff, but they don't have to clutch. And I don't think you need to either. I think that whatever this disruption or shakeup is, even if it's having a material implication on your life that maybe is challenging in some kind of way, don't let that get into your mind where you start feeling like, you know, you have to exert yourself, or be, you know, overextend yourself from a feeling sense, out of like, you know, a need to be entitled to the situation, or whatever it is you might be lacking or feel that you have lost. Just remember that even with the disruption, you are the king. If your kingdom was going to hell, or it was in war and turmoil, the people that are traveling with you, that are experiencing these things with you, are going to seek your charge to bring diplomacy and solutions, right, to the situation. So, just encouraging you right now that, you know, if you're experiencing some kind of shakeup for the second half of the month, Virgo, do your best to embody the healing that you deserve, so that you're approaching it from a centered place within. And I think that's a good segue actually into the personal romantic aspects, because Doreen's romance angel card that I pulled for you is stating to trust. The situation is calling for you to have faith, Virgo. So, I don't know if you recognize yourself in the art here as perhaps one of those characters there. There seems to be a couple. And something's going on. I'm going to call this person here in the dark a he, and I will call this person a she. And she doesn't kind of see what's going on behind her back there. She can't tell what he's doing. You know, he's got this wand. He's conducting something back there while he's kind of holding her close. And she's trusting him. She doesn't know what he's doing. But it's a good thing that she's trusting him, I think. I don't think he's up to anything fishy or flaky. You see that guy right there? She's got a little cherub this little angel's watching her back. So even if he's up to some no good, or some BS, or some hanky-panky, whatever, somebody's watching your back, Virgo. I believe that's the divine. I believe they put you in a position of authority within yourself that maybe you haven't yet recognized how to wield that power effectively yet, because you haven't healed from the place that you've left or that you might still be leaving. And that's okay. Just remember to trust that you're in the right place. You got people with you. Somebody's watching your back. And it might be one of these people that's been with you through all the bullshit, right? Keep in mind. Trust. Heal. And Archangel Michael is actually recommending to you in the Archangel Michael Oracle deck from Dream Virtue to pay attention to your dreams. I'm going to read this one to you guys. Dream time can be very, very focused in healing time. For me personally, I would recommend, turning on some binaural audio, just clear your chakras, get some sleep. And before you go to bed, ask your angels or whoever it is that you have your personal connection to, your higher self. Maybe it's some holy avatar. I know a lot of people that I talk to, like Jesus or, Buddha or Muhammad. Some of them have other holy avatars that they like to pray with. And whoever it is that works for you, or even just yourself, kiss your pillow and say, help me remember my dreams. Because there might be some really good wisdom in there. And that's actually what Archangel Michael is saying. So I'm going to go ahead and pray for y'all. And we're going to end on that note. So Virgo, this is for you, my friends. Thank you for tucking me into bed tonight and helping me enjoy a wonderfully restful night's sleep. Archangel Michael, I invite you into my dreams as my teacher, guide, and healer. Please allow me to understand this situation on a spiritual level and give me guidance. Amen. All right, that's all I got for you right now, Virgo. I love you guys. I think you're great. If you liked the video, please like, share, subscribe. I'll be doing more freebies, and if anybody has a prayer request for me, hit me up. My information's below, and I like to pray for people. So, now we're going to move on to Capricorn. Hey, Capricorn, what's shaking? I have already dealt the cards, and I am just looking at them for the first time, and you know what, guys and gals and others, I feel like, just on a quick look here, you actually are still showing a lot of the same energy that I witnessed in your previous reading, which was for, the first part of May. This part here is going to cover like the second half to the end, and, things can kind of wibble wobble with time a bit, but we'll go with the second half of the month on this. And actually, you even pulled one of the same cards as before, and just some really similar energy. So I'm going to go ahead and start with your archetypal energy card for the month. This tends to be the the baseline, the rhythm that you're trotting to throughout the course of the month. Excuse me. For these, I've used again the Caroline Miss archetype cards. Like them a lot. They've got a light and shadow attribute to give us an idea of how the current might be swaying as we're experiencing the day in the month. And this is an energy, guys. It's not positive or negative, really. It's just there to help guide our flow, and it produces a certain sway. And so if you can detect which sway is at play, you might have a better day. On the light side, we see prostitute. And the dark side, don't be alarmed by the word. So on the light side here, it states, accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. And on the shadow side, places material considerations and security above self-empowerment. And again, I don't do the gender thing. I'm non-binary man myself, but I'm gonna call that a woman. Okay, if you don't like it, make it whatever gender makes sense to you. But she's looking like a gal to me here. I'm feeling some goddess energy, and she's just kind of naked. She looks like she's sort of comfortable in a bed there. And there's some stuff going on, and she's just rolling in money. She's doing the Scrooge McDuck, you know, because there were those cartoons. I grew up in the 80s, so there was this character in DuckTales, and he was like this miserly little duck. He was kind of like he was the Scrooge character, you know, like from Christmas Story or Christmas Tale or whatever that is. But anyway, he was the grumpy, like, greedy, miserly guy that had a shit ton of money, and he would like fill up a pool and he would just like jump in it and start back swimming and like, you know, his money. So she's kind of like Scrooge McDucking it a little bit here, and that's what jumped to me when I was looking at it. But you know, this is what you're going to be coming up against here this month, Capricorn. And it's interesting. I'm remembering what you got for the beginning of the month. I think you had the Santa Claus looking card. What was that? It was the beggar card. The beggar and the prostitute for the month of May. So this is somebody that really feels like they're having to bargain themselves sometimes, you know, or make some potential compromises that maybe they're not feeling so comfortable with. Did you feel like a beggar? Did you feel like a prostitute? I don't know, Capricorn. You're going through something right now, though. And I feel like, you know, a lot of this has to do with just an internal, perhaps, confusion with regard to your own self-barometer. So what I'm hearing here is that there is a sweet spot, and you might very well be aware of it. I'm feeling that it has a lot to do with your ability and willingness to speak your own difficult truths with clarity, compassion, and a little bit of, you know, just laying it down. And the thing is that whatever it is that you're doing to receive your flow of comeuppance might be asking you to make an adjustment somewhere. You know, for instance, in the middle of the month, it seemed like the strong message that was coming forward with that beggar energy was to recognize that there were underutilized or acknowledged resources that were literally being hurled at you. There was all kinds of shit flying in the air coming at you, and it was like you weren't seeing it, you know, so you weren't noticing the things that you are abundant in and some of the gifts that want to come your way. And I believe some of that might be a self-obstruction. With our mind, we can actually repel, polarize away the things that are coming for us sometimes, even the good stuff that we believe that we want. And I'm just seeing a lot of this green color everywhere. Green, 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 even the money. And for me, I feel like it's just calling you more into your heart and also a little bit higher. Thymus and, you know, this whole area, the thyroid area, and balancing that, because if there's something that's making you feel compromised that you have to do for your money, maybe it's the dialogue about how it's being framed either to you or by you that's making you feel like there is a a compromise that maybe you don't really particularly feel is the best for you. And so if you're feeling like a whore in some kind of way, maybe there's a call to heal something in that world and that aspect, the way that it's kind of pinging at you and niggling, so that you are able to at least tell or reframe for yourself what it is that's actually going on in this exchange, because you've got some control here, and it's within your power of negotiation to create a better situation out of this for yourself, and you deserve it, Capricorn. Don't let anybody push you around, especially yourself. If you don't like this dialogue that you're having with yourself, there's a call to action for healing. So a couple of things. Poke around on YouTube if you like. Get yourself some sound therapy. Clear the chakras. Work on the heart chakra here, and also a little bit higher. Focus on green colors. And I'm just getting a message here about somebody's body. Thyroid is what I'm hearing. And if this is for you, if you're struggling with some thyroid issues right now, that tends to be a fifth chakra issue. Maybe take a look into that. And I would even recommend contacting an herbalist. I had actually been diagnosed with hypothyroidism some years back, when it turns out I wasn't speaking my difficult truths with clarity and with love. And some of the things that I was actually able to do to turn that around were balancing my chakras, working with my body and my energy, and I took some herbal support. Iodine and kelp worked great. They're also really good herbs. If you have a natural style grocer in your area, perhaps give them a quick call. See if they have an herbalist you can talk to. Okay, just a tip. Moving on to your physical world. Wow, Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And you guys got the same exact card for the beginning part of the month. 6 of Swords in the physical reality. This is a mental style card. Anytime you see all these swords in this deck, this is the stuff going on up here, this double-edged type thoughts that can be very consuming. And I see you're still attempting to extricate yourself from whatever this fucking bullshit is over here. Y'all were trying to get out of it earlier this month too. There's something going on. You want to make a move. Something physically is happening. Maybe you're dealing with even somebody that has a strong mental energy. It could be an air sign perhaps, or somebody that is, fluent in the mind aspects. Your air signs would be, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, just to sum that up, although that doesn't have to be specific. But yeah, you guys, you don't like something that's going on. And I just, I'm seeing you in the same position, considering the way out and trying to figure out how to do it without compromising yourself in a way that doesn't feel good. And yeah, you guys, this kind of feels a little bit stuck. I was hoping, we'd at least see like one more sword, that would show us that this has progressed. And I'm not really seeing that yet. I'm just seeing sort of this challenge of feeling like, you gotta leave whatever this situation is back here that you're kind of pushing from. Right? But remember, there are people with you that are supporting you. There's a good time over here. Wherever you're going, the waters are clear. I'm just concerned mostly that you might be stuck a little bit in inertia if you are not taking any sort of corresponding steps other than just the thought process that now I can pretty much ascertain you might be sort of dwelling on, because you got the same card. Okay, so really presenting a very strong theme for you. what I do like about this, since this is coming from the minor set, this is a minor arcana card, these are the things that are completely within our control. Capricorn, I know you don't like to move too fast sometimes. You really stick it out, when something's going on. And I know it's hard for you to push away from something that you might have invested in, even if it sucks. And I know this very well. I have my Mars and Mercury are in Capricorn. I got some really strong Capricorn placement. One of my parents is Capricorn. My dog's Capricorn. I got some good Capricorn friends. And I know that just taking a step, even if something hasn't worked out, you guys kind of take it a little personally sometimes, like it's a personal thing. And, you don't want to pull out unless you really, really have to. And sometimes it takes you a while to plan stuff like that. And so, take the time you need, but realize that you're not going to get anywhere until you actually push. Okay? And it would be helpful to make sure that you're feeling balanced within your own self so that nobody's pushing you for the wrong reason, If an offer or something is coming your way to make this move, but it makes you feel like you're embodying some of the shadow sides of this prostitute energy, fuck that. You've got better options. And you've been thinking about them, so you're going to know, okay? But push when it's time to push, all right? Because right now, you're a lot in your mind, and you guys are earth signs. You really kick ass at being in your body, in your physical world. So let's take this 6, because that's a really good number for like establishing balance, coming out of something that might have not been balanced. And let's turn those into pentacles, Let's take some grounded steps, because that's actually what is natural for you Capricorns, is to take those grounded steps and to sow those seeds. So just realize that when you stroke away like that, you are planting yourself, and you are doing it in a way that is accentuating your ability to rise to a challenge without having to sacrifice any part of your spirit or how you feel about yourself. Okay. In mind sector, we were using the Sean Holland Psychic Oracle deck, which I love very much. And you got a really kick-ass card here. Look at that, Capricorn. Get 11. Balance. Do you recognize that card? Maybe you do. Look at that angel there. This is the energy of transcendence. 11 is a very spiritual number. It's a very high mind that you have yourself embodied here. And I believe that, again, this is a major card. This is a major arcana here with this angel. This is the Temperance card in the standard deck, and there's also an angel in that deck. And usually what we see in that other deck, I don't have the card handy, but it's an angel that's performing a form of alchemy. He's like combining what's in 2 cups into one substance. And there's a slightly different take on it here in this deck. And you can see, the angel, he's not really holding the stuff, but it's being held. It's in his halo there. And you see it's crossing right through his hands, through the heart chakra point of his hands. He's very, very balanced and transcendent is what I hear, because of the balance of his high mind, which he is demonstrating forward with his actions. That's where the balancing comes in. And using those tools to your own greatest benefit. And what this is saying to me, Capricorn, is that on some level you realize that you are properly inventoried for whatever this journey is this getting out of Dodge. You got what you need. So even though you might be on a dinky little boat and your people might be lumping along, you got your tools. You got a big ass angel on your side. And this cat is just telling you that this is really about you being able to lift your own self up by using, see that yellow thing, that halo around him? I believe that is his solar plexus energy because of that color. And that is what comes out of this region here, out of your like sternal region. It's your ego. This is your projection. It's your experience of yourself and the world. And I didn't look at it this way before. But you see, we got all this green here. The heart chakra stuff we were talking about. Thyroid, thymus. This chakra here that needs some work here, a little clarification. But there's also like this big yellow halo around it that I just picked up now too, which to me is saying that it's time to be heart-centered, focus on this healing, but also to allow it to project forward in a healthy sense, because that's actually going to be what helps distinguish whether you are moving with your challenges in a way that honors your own healthy exhibition of your ego, or that places, material stuff over you feeling empowered in how you even represent yourself. So this angel here is reminding you of that, and that this is really about you transcending from your own mental limitations in your own mind about what it is that you even represent and what your price is that you're willing to pay for it. So keep in mind, you've got the tools that you need. Take the appropriate actions, knowing that you're guided, you're protected, you have everything you need. But this is really about how you're experiencing yourself. That is going to give you, I believe, the get up and go to push away from whatever that choppy water stuff is there that you don't like, and that these people with you are willing and able to take maybe a challenging journey just to get away from. So keep it in mind, an angel is with you. And with that, I'm going to segue you into your Archangel Michael card and your prayer. Archangel Michael is saying, it's time to have confidence. There's your angel again. He's right there with you. And we're going to go ahead and pray right now, Capricorn. All right. Archangel Michael, please lend me your courage and fortitude. Help me realize that I am one with all that is divine, wisdom, strength, love, creativity, abundance, and health. Allow me to feel confident and peaceful about myself in all ways. Amen. All right, Capricorn, that's what I got for you now for the second part of May. I hope you liked it. And if you need a prayer request, hit me up. My email is down there. Can't do the personals right now, but keep on the channel if you liked them, because I will be doing more free readings, and I'll be back next month. And check out your sun, moon, and rising. Thank you so much for watching. Peace and love to you guys.